Right, so, if you've been on Roblox recently, you've most likely heard about the hunts. Kind of like the egg hunts of previous Roblox years. Basically, you go into games, do a little quest, get introduced to the game, and, you get a badge for it and get some possible UGC. Well, today, I'm starting a series where I go through the games in this event, and then afterwards I'm going to rank them. Today will be all the games that I did on day 1 and 2 of the event. And in the order that I did them, and I'll be explaining what I did and how much I enjoyed this event, enjoyed their little quest, Of course, we start in TDS. Now, I did have a video on my main channel. You can go check that out if you want to see the full experience of this. This was one of my favorites. Of course, it might be a little biased, but, TDS isn't my favorite tower defense game, so there's, not too much bias. So, first you start off with the beginner game mode, which isn't super challenging, obviously, though I could see someone who hasn't played tower defense games before, they wouldn't know all the cost-efficient levels, they wouldn't know good spots, but you could probably still win with that. It's a good introduction to the game. They put some really cool towers in there, some unique mechanics. Trapper was the only questionable choice, but I assume they just did that because it was the most recent one. The map changes over the course of the waves, and it looks really cool. Then there's a Scout Egg quest. You just have to be easy 3 times with only starter units, which, puts, for the most part, puts pro players and new players on the same playing ground until you, until you realize you can use golden perks. Regardless, it's still easily possible. I did challenge myself to no G perks and a black spot exchange run, and it all was fine. It was pretty easy to do. Then the hard mode of the event was actually really good. It was pretty well balanced, having nice progression, and even giving me a good challenge. I went in solo, and I was bringing 2 golden towers and engineer, and still lost because I forgot to change my targeting on minigunner when the trader came in. But second run, I won easily. And this can easily done with no special towers. And the warden skin is very cool. So overall, this was an amazing one. The next one I decided to do was doors. Doors added a little subfloors you can do before a hotel run to get some golden items. But it isn't an easy task. You're faced with 4 new entities over 50 rooms. And I did this one with 3 other people. This has a very different feel from the base game, aside from Blitz, which is, you just kind of have all the time as that entity, comes in, rushing through, you have to hide in the closet. Basically just kind of like Rush, but it comes back a few times like Ambush. And it takes a little while, which would be fine since there isn't hide on this floor. But there is another entity that's putting you on a time limit, being Haste, which its whole gimmick is this timer that is constantly counting down, and you have to find switches to add an extra minute to the timer. And if the timer reaches 0, Haste attacks. And your screen turns red, and then you kind of get killed. These levers are hidden a few times, and if you don't find these spots, you're probably gonna die. Then there's the Lookman, my personal favorite entity from this floor, just because he's a little silly. He's kind of like Eyes, where if you look at him, he damages you, but he only does 1 hit, and then he kind of disappears. But he is very common, and he looks a little silly. Then there's final entity being Vacuum. It's like a bunch of fake doors that if you open them will try to drag you in and kill you. I've actually never died to these before, and I didn't know they were a thing until after I beat this. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And escaping you gives you this badge and brings you back to a hotel run. So yeah, this one is also really good. Probably not as good as the TDS one, but hey, this one's actually staying in the game, so that's nice. Next, I did the strongest battlegrounds, which was a whole chore and a half. You have to kill these retro guys with cool, classic Roblox movesets, and you have to, it gives you these keys, that's it. But, you know, what happened? Take a guess. Take a gander at how many of these you have to kill. 3, 5, no, 11. Sheesh. And, while you only have to damage them to get the key, if you die while the animation of the key is supposed to play, then you don't get the key. And you will die considering that the other players trying to attack the key, attack the retro guys will also be hitting you. I spent like an hour on this one, but I got, you know, buff egg, so that's pretty cool. This one wasn't super fun considering it's very repetitive and took like an hour, but it's fine, I guess. Then I did natural disaster survival. You have to find 3 clocks in the rounds, and there's usually like 2 to 3 that spawn per round, but there's they're universal on each. So like if one person grabs it, nobody else gets the clock. If you can manage to grab a clock past all the pay-to-win guys jumping around with their balloons and grabbing them early, give it to this guy. And if you get 3 of them, then you win. It's a little frustrating because you have to deal with the people jumping around with balloons and grabbing them super early. Also, this one and the next one have been done on an alt account because I did not record me doing it. I forgot to record it. Next, I did slap battles. Now, this one is simple. You have to get a quest from this quest guy, ride this plate thingy that passes by the islands, and you have to have this long glove. Get off on this island and go grab the glove from this hole. Shoot yourself back to the main island, dig for treasure. When you find the treasure chest, go back to the quest man and be on your way. Pretty easy and, you know, kind of fun, but not sure how people are supposed to figure this one out without someone telling them. Next we have World 0, which this one's like really simple. You just have to kill enemies to get eggs. They have a random drop chance, but it's still really easy, especially when you one-shot everything. Yeah, because I played this game a while ago, and I was in World 2 for some reason, and that was pretty easy. There's so many games on the hunt that I haven't played in ages. Speaking of games I haven't played in ages, Sonic Speed Simulator. Unlike the other games I've played before, this one's more of a dark memory. And this should have been what I expected. You run around collecting these time shard things. There's 100 of them. Worst part is that you have to completely halt your momentum to pick them up. Which for a game about speed, it's pretty annoying. Got really boring just kind of running around trying to pick them up, but sooner or later I finished the quest. Now there's Barry's Prison Escape Obby. This one too isn't something I'm exactly fond of. It's just kind of a weird obby. All it is you have to find these donuts scattered around the obby. They're pretty easy for the most part. Didn't stop me from missing one and having to redo the whole thing. I also got this boss suck on my second run, and this boss died before I could do anything. The game is pretty easy. The more hard part is actually playing the game, considering what they look like. Anyways, for Legends of Speed, oh, I already finished it. I didn't even see the quest, and I literally just moved a little bit, and, you know, got the badge. So, easy, I guess? Arsenal was easily my favorite quest here. You have to, you have a full-on stealth mission. And now, usually I don't like Arsenal, but this was really fun. Taking out the enemies and running from a helicopter, and then blowing up said helicopter. It's freaking crazy. And it somehow made it fun for me. I guess it's just the AIs. We could say AIs aren't jumping around like crazy and headshotting me. I did get bullied by some shotgun guys, though. So, is it just me, or does this agent person sound like Mistral from Metal Gear Rising?
Hello, Operative. This is the agent. I'm sure you do.
I was wondering when you'd come, Jack the Ripper.
That helicopter is back. Take it down.
This ends
Anyways, there's some like lore thing at the end. I don't know. This was my favorite one so far, so props to the Arsenal team. Next is snowboarding obby. This one you kind of just play the game, beat 100 stages, then replay for 10 minutes, and you get the badge. Next was big paintball. Oh, big paintball. Going in, I was like, oh no, it's made by Big Games. But that sadness soon changed the joy of bathing in the painted blood of my enemies. It's a simple 50 kills mission, but I went full on Doom mode on these 9-year-olds. I just destroyed them, having like 3 times the kills as second place. Having 90 kills, crazy. Easily said as done. I did enjoy that game a lot. Now Piggy. That game I haven't played in ages. So we click this button and this goober shows up and drags us into his time machine. And then he goofs and we end up in the middle of nowhere. And I died nearly a minute after spawned because I did not see the bot. Really rusty at Piggy, as you can see. Next attempt, the blue key just didn't spawn. Like, I was looking around for ages trying to find this blue key, and it was obviously it was required to progress. I don't know what happened. My theory is that someone had the blue key and then they left the game, but I don't know. Anyways, third time's the charm as we managed to win on the second phase. I had no clue what I was doing. I was just kind of running around. I don't think I did literally anything useful. Except for, like, distract the bot. Yeah, I don't know. The Piggy solutions are always really weird. Next was Break-In 2, which I did with my friend Spam Tom. I played Break-In 1 and I enjoyed it a lot. But I never played Break-In 2 until now. You just have to survive partway through the round, being after the third wave of attacks. We break into this bad guy base and start benching, getting them games in. Me and Tom were freaking lifting. But then we get hit with a live leak on TV caught in 4K Ultra HD retrace. First wave of bad guys is pretty easy as it's just kind of tiny guys, and I got my damage up really high, so they kind of got destroyed. And then I go to get my speed up on these treadmills. And I also get some more strength, which allows me to open this door and fight the pizza guy. Which he was in Break-In 1. And we destroy him and get some epic golden pizza, which actually comes in clutch later. So then we get into wave 3, which is also pretty easy. But it does have a boss guy, and we have 2 recruits. We have 2 little recruit guys. There's a third one that we were supposed to find, I guess. I don't know. I never went outside, which is where you found them. But that helped, that damaged the boss, which made it an even easier fight. But that isn't it yet. We had to head into the basement and do a boss fight that lasts forever and has 2 phases. The second phase in particular had me going crazy making Terra Galactica references. And at the first phase we were making fun of. The second phase, Tom actually died, but I avenged him. Yeah, I think we got like a bad ending because the boss escaped. But whatever. We still got the badge, so GG's. Now for 3008, the Infinite IKEA. This one, I had Ethan, Tom, and Sinister with me. We meet up, and we go do these quests from this terminal at the pillars. And we start building a staircase to heaven with random crap that nobody fell off of, ever. Nobody fell. Nobody fell. No. End up taking a bit to actually get the right objectives since they don't save between nights, and you can only do them at night. For me, I end up having to interact with a TV, consume 10 items, and walk 941 studs. There's this guy that shows up and yaps a bit for a bit, which apparently my friends didn't see. It was only me, but after that we can leave. Now for Bed Wars. It's simple as getting carried on this game mode where you just have to collect eggs and then bring them back to your base. And I find out that the PvE in this game is rather simplistic, as you just kind of spam. It's pretty easy, and we won. Not too much of a challenge. And we can move on. Next is Funky Friday. You just have to play these 4 songs that were really poorly charted, in my opinion. I'm surprised this game even got in, considering it hasn't been majorly updated in like literal years. Like seriously, they still have the Christmas 2022 lobby. I used to actually play this game, but I can see why I stopped. You can't really lose on this, so it's easy, but I don't know why they made the charting so bad for the songs that people who've never played rhythm games before are going to be playing. Next we have the Mimic. It's literally just, you have to go find these eggs and then sell them. While making sure you don't get caught by this big money guy. And I really like the atmosphere until until you slam your face into a wall, and then you see the basic Roblox freaking grass texture. Also, I don't think I have footage of this, but when you see the monster up close, it looks so goofy. Its animations are so choppy. This did take me a while, but eventually we got the dubs. Next we have Ninja Legends. Just like Speed Simulator. Easy. Killer nostalgia though, I used to try hard this game. This is Elemental Powers Tycoon. I got baited the first time, because when I first saw it, for a second I thought it was Elemental Battlegrounds, which was a classic. Well, we just have to do these 3 quests. Find an egg, kill a boss, and oh yeah, just beat the game. First 2 is easy, the third just takes a while. I mean, I had a bit of fun, but I mean, it's a tycoon, you can't have that much fun. Speaking of tycoons, we have Undead Defense Tycoon, which I won before I had even started. See, I've played this game's Easter events before. Like, I used to play this game like a lot. And the currency saved between years, and the quest was to get 150 eggs. I had like 500. Next is War Machines. The footage mostly corrupted, but you just gotta kill these random guys, collect these shards. The combat is pretty fun though. I never really felt challenged because the enemies do so little damage, so it's okay, I guess, but not the best thing in the world. Next was Murderers vs. Sheriff Duels. You have to do 5 missions, which is get a headshot, win, collect this trophy from someone's dead body, do a 2v2, and do a 1v1. All of which were pretty easy. I did them with Ethan for the most part. We got destroyed by a PC player when we tried to do the 2v2s. Next is Combat Warriors. And this game is a lot more fun than I expected. I don't have footage of the part where you beat people up, but you just have to get 150 points, which is 2 points for a kill and 1 for an assist. And it's pretty simple. This game taught me that when you play this game, you just have to get kills however you can. You know, there's no third partying is like the entire point of the game, from my experience. And then you have to do this obby. It's for the most part easy, except for stage 2, which I struggled on for a bit. But after that, it was pretty smooth sailing to the end, and we get the badge. The floor is lava is the next game we have. You have to wait for this core blocks round, which I got right off the bat, but through. Then I have to wait 8 more rounds, which is kind of dumb. Then you have to beat this easy obby thing, which is made way harder by having collision with other players. Like, seriously, what were they thinking? Lumber Tycoon 2 was a strange one. You have to get this axe, cut some wood, then run this wood over to an altar and sacrifice it for an egg. Bring that egg back to the shop where you got the axe and you're good. I don't know if it told us to do that or not, but regardless, it's kind of boring. But that's all of them. It was pretty fun, and I can't wait to do the rest of them later. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next part of this series.